Now, getting back to New Jersey, when a national it got national publicity at a strike up there at Wanacue, New Jersey. Uh, they brought in police from five different organizations, including a private company out of Georgia, who brought in submachine guns and killer dogs, and he said the last thing he's going to do is going to kill me. Well, that kind of made my Frisian anger go up, and we ended up with a pretty militant strike, at which time I got arrested twice there, even though I got arrested one time when I hadn't been there a week. But they still held me responsible for whatever went on. And they tried to kill me going into the Holland Tunnel. A truck I was following, I got in front of it. Had struck goods in it. And as I was approaching the Holland Tunnel with the truck, he tried to run me off. And as we went through the toll booths, the Greyhound bus driver shouted to the police there that this truck tried to kill me. I was able to block the truck, and I got on top of the truck and started throwing the struck goods into the road, and it backed up cars into New Jersey, probably 15 or 20 miles, while the police were trying to make me stop. And I said, well, you should be arresting these guys. They tried to kill me. But anyway, I ended up in jail twice here in Wanacue. And when I called for help one time, when I knew I was up against it, I called the main office in Newark, and I talked to the operator there, and she said, I'll get you help. Though I found out later she was in touch with the mob. And when I saw those four guys, they looked like pressers, drive up, I was happy to see them as people who were going to help me. At which time there was ice on the sidewalk, and there were four hoods that came up, and they beat the hell out of me. That's why you see me crippled today. They had me on the sidewalk and were kicking the daylights out of me. I got up, and I was one tough. Well, let's not use any expletives, but I was damn tough. And I got up, and I was going to whip them, because I could have, those fat hoods, until one opened his coat up, and he was the chief of police. You don't hit the chief of police. So I just backed down. Of course, they threw me in jail again for doing nothing except getting beat up. I got beat up. I ended up in jail again. They never did break that strike, and it made national news because of the stunts they pulled. And this was not in the deep south. This is in North Jersey. And this was a general dress strike we had on in 58. We struck all the factories around. And another situation where I didn't end up in jail, but it was during the general strike. A woman died on one of our strikes. They put her in jail, and she had nothing to do with the strike. She was a black woman, and this is part of the ghetto in Elizabethport, New Jersey. And I went to the police there. I said, please, she had nothing to do with the strike. She's got a tag on it. If she gets excited, she'll die. And the police would not release her because she wouldn't give the police her name. Well, to make a long story short, they wouldn't let her out, and she died. At which time I told my strikers to stay away from the factory because I'll go there alone. It was much too emotional for the whole community there. So I went there one day, a couple of days later, before the funeral, and there's a truck there, and I'm looking the truck over. I assumed it's going to take some struck goods out of the factory. The next thing, there's at least 500 to 1,000 black people there screaming at me that I killed Nellie Brown. And then there was a trucker upstairs, two stories up. He yelled at me, "What are you doing by my truck?" I said, "You the driver?" He says, "Yes." I said, "Can I come up and talk to you?" He says, "Yeah, come on up." Well, this got me away from the chanting crowd. I went upstairs and I was greeted with a guy who was all cut up. These are all blacks, with a knife. And I went in and they invited me in, and there's a big fat woman and a skinny woman. They were all drunk, had knives. They put knives on my neck, sharp knives on my neck. And the truck driver just stood there by the window, and I started talking to them. And when I got through, I said, "Look, I know you're going to kill me here." I said, "But even the guy who's up for murder gets the last drink, and you're drinking here. Can I have a drink with you?" Well, they said, "Okay." And they went and got a beer for me. I said, "No, I want a drink. You're drinking whatever you're drinking." And they poured it in the glass she was drinking, and I took that glass and drank it, which broke the ice. And the knives came away from my neck a little bit, and then I slammed my fist on the table. I said, "You should be helping me. I'm passing, and I'm here as an organizer to help you, not to hurt you." And I had nothing to do with Nellie Brown, because they were screaming that Nellie Brown's 5 children are left alone down the hall here now. It was my fault. I said, "No, it's not my fault. I tried to get her released, and the police wouldn't release her. I went to the NAACP, they wouldn't help. I went to the National Urban League, they wouldn't help. I couldn't get any help. And I feel terrible about her death, but I had nothing to do with it. They arrested her, and she had nothing to do with the strike. She was on the bus where a little scuffle took place. And I slammed my a fist on the table. I said, "I'm passing." I knew they were from the South, so when you're Southern, you know what passing means. Northerners don't know what passing means. Passing means you're black, even though you're white. And they said, "You're passing?" I said, "Yes." And I said, "I was also a private. I laid my life down for Coretta King when they were going to kill her. I was also a friend of Martin Luther King." I said, I went to an all-black college for 4 years. Well, if you're really with us, anyway, when the truck driver heard all this, he said, "I'm condensing this, of course." He said, "You come with me downstairs, Walt." I'm now called Walt. We stood on the stoop, and now there's at least 1,000 blacks here. And he said to them, he says, "This man is our friend." He said, "I want the toughest 20 guys that you have here to volunteer to meet him tomorrow morning." The next morning, there were 20 of the toughest guys you ever saw. Scarface. I mean, any one of them would terrify you. And there's 20 of them. They're waiting for me on the corner. And they said, "Let's go on the opposite corner of the factory." Well, the boss had a ritual there every morning. This is an all-black community, projects and whatever. His ritual was he'd drive up in his big black Dasota and stand in the middle of the street and smoke a cigar like this is my kingdom. And he got out, lit up a cigar, and looked over and took a double look. And he saw me in the middle of these 20 blacks. He got in his car and called and drove away and called the union and settled.
Okay, let's end this story there because that's a great story.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay, we'll continue. Well, I guess we're going to have a third video on jail. Okay.